Hello everyone and welcome to my first video of 2021.
2021, what you think about me? I could wait a year, but I shouldn't wait 3.
Unhinged stars Russell Crowe. It came out in 2020 and it's one of the very few movies that actually came out in theaters during the COVID season. Of all the things I'll miss about 2020, COVID is at the bottom of the list, along with this movie. Users and audiences from IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, Metacritic all gave this movie a decent score. Not great, but decent. That means the average person thought this movie was good enough to get a passing grade. I don't get it. This movie was terrible. It's got a painfully simple plot. Some fat, unstable, pill-popping lunatic gets his feelings hurt because a woman refused to apologize for honking at him.
Ma'am, I was saying if you could just apologize.
I heard you.
And?
I don't have anything to apologize for, sir.
Well, I don't think that's really true of any of us now, is it?
He then spends the rest of the movie stalking her and killing anyone who gets in his way. This is one of those movies where I'm pretty sure the premise came first. Somewhere some writer said to a team, "What if we made a movie about road rage?" And believe it or not, this isn't the reason I didn't like this movie. In fact, the stupid premise is what got me to watch the movie in the first place. If done right, a stupid premise can make for a fun movie.
I have had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane!
I have two big problems with this movie. The first has to do with the fact that the writers seem to force in all kinds of half-assed backstories and subplots just to try to get this movie over the 90-minute mark. And guess what? They barely made it. Our main character, Rachel, is a single mom going through a divorce. We meet her arguing with her soon-to-be ex-husband about him not being available to spend time with their son. She's also running late and rushing her kid to school. And this isn't the first time she's running late either. One of her clients has had enough and fires her on the spot. Her son, who's also annoyed with constantly being late to school, is openly disappointed with her. Any one of these issues could have been enough for her character. A failed marriage and its effects on the child, being a single parent, struggling to keep things together along with financial troubles, falling short of your child's expectations. These are just too many serious issues to honestly address in a movie about road rage. Remember Speed? Yeah, it's a dumb premise. But guess what? The movie knew that, and it actually made characters equally as shallow. I mean, can you imagine getting a Sandra Bullock character struggling to balance her work life with raising a kid in the middle of a divorce? Nobody would care. Speed did it right. It made for a movie where the simplicity of the characters actually matched the plot. Unhinged, it didn't go this route. Instead, they crammed in so much character backstory without ever even spending any time to develop anything. Tom, the Russell Crowe character, the one who should have had the interesting backstory, of all the characters to develop, the villain is by far the most worthy. A relatable villain is at the heart of every good thriller and horror movie. Isn't that right, Michael? No, the big backstory of Tom is the fact that he's also gone through a divorce after his wife had an affair and took everything from him. Really? The one guy out there deranged enough to hunt down some woman for honking at him just so happens to be also recently divorced? This is just too unbelievable. But trust me, we'll get to that. Tom manages to track down Rachel's divorce lawyer, and now this is a spoiler, so if you're really holding out for this movie, now's your chance to go. He kills the lawyer because he suspects Rachel and him are having an affair and then plan on taking her husband for everything after the divorce. Now, to be honest here, Tom's motives are actually very interesting. And it seemed like this would be a good way into his character. I expected that giving him a genuine feeling about such a pressing topic would go somewhere. But it didn't. I mean, how can you do that as a writer? In my mind, if you write something into a script, wouldn't you like to see it go somewhere? I guess if you're just writing for a paycheck, who cares?
Show me the money! Show me the money!
My other gripe about the movie is something I've already touched on. Things and situations throughout the entire movie seem to be way too unbelievable. It doesn't stop with a convenient divorce coincidence. Tom managed to kill the lawyer in a crowded diner in broad daylight. And it wasn't like a quick stab and then he runs away. No, he beats him up for what feels like several minutes And nobody does a thing. And then when he finally kills him, he hangs out in the crowded diner long enough for police to show up. But nothing happens. Nobody even tries to help. Also, by the way, the only reason he was able to track down the lawyer in the first place was because he got Rachel's phone, which just so happens to not have a password. What kind of an idiot doesn't put a password on their phone? He also uses the phone to find out where she lives and kills one of her roommates. And just before he kills the other roommate, a cop shows up. Just one. Not even a partner. He lights a guy on fire and gets shot in the chest, and still manages to get away. Later, he even runs a cop off the road, yet no other cops ever show up. This guy wreaks havoc across the entire city all day long, and there are like 2 cops that I can remember. I mean, I'm willing to have some suspension of disbelief for the sake of enjoying a movie, but this took it way too far, well beyond the point of me being able to enjoy it. I could go on, I really could, but I should acknowledge the fact that a lot of people out there actually like this movie. I mean, it was filmed well, it looks good, and it stars Russell Crowe. If you still want to watch this movie and enjoy it, my advice is this. Don't watch it the way I watched it, by giving it your undivided attention, because all the plot holes and lackluster character development won't sit well. Trust me. This would be a good movie to watch on a movie night with some friends. You won't miss out on anything if you guys end up chatting through most of it.
That ain't no man! You can see her real hair right there! Do you mind? I know you better get out of my face!
Unhinged. Don't buy this one. Rent it with some friends and go into it with some low expectations. Hopefully you'll enjoy it more than I did.
2021, will you think about me?
Happy New Year, everyone. My name's Kenny, and until next time, let's not just watch movies. Let's talk about them, too.